Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Game 3 of the ALCS, look ahead to today's Game 4 of the ALCS, and today's Game 3 of the NLCS. We'll recap last night's Monday Night Football game, last night's NHL games, look ahead to tonight's games, tonight's NBA opening night. We'll preview and predict tonight's slate. I'll do my NBA Top 100 player list, news and notes, recap last night's episode of Dancing with the Stars, and my best bet of the day. Major League Baseball playoffs. Game 3, ALCS, and it was a beatdown in Boston as the Red Sox defeat the Astros 12-3 to take a 2-1 series lead. Eduardo Rodriguez the win, Jose Urquidy the loss. This was just a beatdown for the Sox. And this was 9-0 after the third. The only hit of significance that the Astros had in this game was a 3-run homer in the top of the fourth by Kyle Tucker to make it 9-3. But the Boston pitching held serve since then, and they just poured it on later on. So, Red Sox up 2-1 and trying to go up 3-1 today. But they're not until 8 o'clock. 5 o'clock, you have the Braves and the Dodgers. Game 3 from Chavez Ravine. Should be a really fun game. Dodgers minus 180, Braves plus 152, over under 7.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Braves plus 1.5 is minus 137. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 114. Must win for the Dodgers. Down 2-0, finally back at home. That crowd's going to be electric. I like the Dodgers run line minus 1.5 at plus 114. I think the Dodgers win by multiple runs. And 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, you have the Astros and the Red Sox. Joe Buck, John Schmaltz, Ken Rosenthal on the call. Red Sox minus 130, Astros plus 110, over under 9.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Astros plus 1.5 is minus 164. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 136. I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to take the Astros plus 110 against the Red Sox. I just think that they're better than what they showed yesterday. Nick Pivetta stinks. Zach Greinke isn't that bad. But he's had a history of imploding. This could be one of them, but I just think he's better than Nick Pivetta. So, give me the Astros plus 110 to even up this baby at 2 games apiece. All right, now we'll move on to Monday Night Football from last night, which was a great game. I really enjoyed that game as the Titans defeat the Bills 34-31. A huge win for the Titans to really prove themselves here. Tennessee is 4-2, and so is Buffalo. Josh Allen, 35 of 47, 353 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. Ryan Tannehill, 18 of 29, 216 yards and an interception. So Tennessee gets the win and has a big leg up in the AFC South. And I think this is going to be similar to the Cowboys in the NFC East. It's just an awful division with a good team. And for Buffalo, just a letdown loss after beating the Chiefs. And now coming up, they have a bye. And then the Titans next week have the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be a really, really interesting weekend coming up for the Tennessee Titans. That's for sure. Okay, now we'll recap the NHL games from last night, and we will look ahead to tonight's games. Rangers over the Maple Leafs 2-1 in overtime on a game winner by Artemi Panarin. Rangers 2-1-1, Toronto 2-1-1. Number 3 started game with 21 saves on 23 shots. Jack Campbell, number 2, started the game with the overtime winner, Artemi Panarin, and the number 1 started the game with 40 saves on 41 shots, Igor Shesterkin. Flyers over the Kraken 6-1. The Flyers are 1-0-1. Seattle 1-2-1. The number 3 started game didn't have a point, but just played a great game. Nick Seeler. Number 2 started the game with the goal and 2 assists. Derek Brassard. And the number 1 started the game with 23 saves on 24 shots. Carter Hart. Ducks over the Flames 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Jamie Drysdale. Anaheim 2-1-0. Calgary 0-1-1. Number 3 started the game with 2 assists, Johnny Gaudreau. Number 2 started the game with a goal, Blake Coleman. Number 1 started the game with 41 saves on 43 shots, John Gibson. Blues over the Coyotes 7-4. The Blues 2-0-0. Arizona 0-2-1. Number 3 started the game with 3 assists, Shane Gottspear. Number 2 started the game with 2 goals, Klim Kostin. And the number 1 started the game with 2 goals and 2 assists, Jordan Kyrou. All right, now we look ahead to tonight. Big window. 7 o'clock, you have the Canucks and the Sabres. Vancouver minus 158. Buffalo plus 134. Over under 6. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Vancouver minus 1.5 is plus 168. Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 205. I'm going to take the over. I don't trust Buffalo's goaltending, even though it's been good the first 2 games. And I like Vancouver's offense. I'm going to go over 6 minus 102. Sharks, Canadians. Montreal minus 158. San Jose plus 134. Over under 6. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 110. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 205. Canadians minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go with the Sharks plus 134 here. I just think that they're better right now than the Canadians are. And Montreal is just so banged up. Give me San Jose plus 134. Really good game in the Atlantic Division. The Panthers and the Lightning. Tampa minus 126. Florida plus 108. Over under 6. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 255. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 205. I'm going with the Panthers as the dog plus 108. The Kraken and the Devils. Devils minus 156. Kraken plus 132. Over under 6. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Seattle plus 1.5 is minus 205. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go with the Kraken as a road dog here. Stars, Penguins. Penguins minus 134. Dallas plus 114. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Stars plus 1.5 is minus 250. Penguins minus 1.5 is plus 198. Let's go with the over in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game, despite Sidney Crosby not being back for Pittsburgh yet. Avalanche Capitals, great game. The Capitals are minus 126. The Avs are plus 108. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 102. Minus 122. Avs plus 1.5 is minus 255. And Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 205. I'm going to take... Caps minus 1.5 is plus 205. I'm going to go with the Avalanche plus 108 as a road dog. Again, the better team as an underdog is something you're not going to see very often. 7:30, Blue Jackets, Red Wings. It's a pick 'em on each side of minus 108, over under 5.5, minus 110 each way. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 240. Detroit minus 1.5 is plus 195. I'm going with the Red Wings as a pick 'em here against the Blue Jackets. I just think Alex Nedeljkovic is going to step up. And I would also like the under in this game, too. 8 o'clock, ESPN, Islanders, Blackhawks. Islanders minus 120, Blackhawks plus 102, over under 6, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Islanders minus 1.5 is plus 220. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 275. I'm going to lay to minus 120 with the Islanders. I think they're undervalued here because they're 0-2. Kings, Predators. Preds minus 154. The Kings plus 130. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 215. Nashville minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going to go under 5.5 minus 114. Jets, Wild. The Wild minus 158. The Jets plus 134. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 205. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 168. Let's go with the big dog here at the Jets. I think they get off the schneid here a little bit. And last but not least, 9 o'clock, you have the Ducks and the Oilers. The Oilers minus 275, the Ducks plus 225, over under 6. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Ducks plus 1/2 is minus 118. Oilers minus 1/2 is minus 102. I'm going to go with the Ducks plus 1/2 at minus 118. I think this is a closer game, despite the Ducks being on the second of a back-to-back. I just think this game could be a lot closer than people think. So we're going to go Ducks plus 1/2 is minus 118. I think John Gibson will keep them in the game if he plays. But if not, then I think that they'll still be competitive in this spot. Tonight is NBA opening night. This is a night a lot of folks have been waiting for a long time. And here we are. 2 games tonight, 8 o'clock on TNT. Or it might be 7:30. Let's check. It is indeed 7:30 on TNT. If the Nets and the Bucks. I project Milwaukee by 8, total 230.15. Meanwhile, it is Bucks by 1.5, total 235. I have a big edge on the Bucks, so I'm going to lay to 1.5 of Milwaukee. No Kyrie Irving. That crowd's going to be ruckus. Getting the Bucks under 3 at home is just a miracle, so I'm going to lay it with Milwaukee. And at 10 o'clock on TNT, you have the Warriors and the Lakers. And the sad part is I know more Marv Albert, so will it be like Ian Eagle or Brian Anderson calling the game? Kevin Harlan's probably on Nets Bucks, and then Warriors Lakers will probably be like Ian Eagle or Brian Anderson. But Brian Anderson is doing the Dodgers game, so it's you know what? It's probably Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller at the Laker game, and an Ian Eagle and Stan Van Gundy or something like that for Nets Bucks. And obviously Ian Eagle is the voice of the Nets, so I think they're going to probably give the Nets a little bit of favoritism here by putting their own announcer with this game, just like I think tomorrow night you'll see with ESPN broadcasts as well, where some of them will be located. So I project the Lakers by 12, total 220.55. Meanwhile, it's 3 and 226.5. I'm going to lay the 3 at the Lakers. LeBron's still on this team as far as I'm concerned. No Klay Thompson yet for Golden State. I just think Golden State has a lot of figuring things out to do. Meanwhile, I think the Lakers kind of know more about themselves than Golden State, even if they have a lot of new faces as well. So I'm going to lay the 3 with the Los Angeles Lakers against the Golden State Warriors. Okay, now I'm going to do my top 100 NBA player rankings. I always do this either the day before or the day of the season starts in every sport. And obviously I used the lists I made last week and this week with all the positions, and I combine them and just rank them from there. So without further ado, here we go. 2 honorable mentions. Rui Hachimura of the Wizards and Jonathan Isaacs of the Magic. And now here's the actual list. 100. Royce O'Neal, Jazz. 99. Yusuf Nurkic, Trailblazers. 98. Daniel Gafford, Wizards. 97. DeJounte Murray, Spurs. 96. Rashawn Holmes, Kings. 95. Keldon Johnson, Spurs. 94. Gary Trent Jr., Raptors. 93. Patrick Williams, Bulls. 92. Thomas Bryant, Wizards. 91. Mitchell Robinson, Knicks. 90. Dillon Brooks, Grizzlies. 89. Norman Powell, Trailblazers. 88. T.J. Warren, Pacers. 87. James Weissman, Warriors. 86. Tim Hardaway Jr., Mavericks. 85. Kemba Walker, Knicks. 84. Jay Crowder, Suns. 83. Jared Allen, Cavaliers. 82. Terry Rozier, Hornets. 81. DeAndre Hunter, Hawks. 80. DeMar DeRozan, Bulls. 79, Steven Adams, Grizzlies. 78, Aaron Gordon, Nuggets. 77, Jeremy Grant, Pistons. 76, Harrison Barnes, Kings. 75, Evan Fournier, Knicks. 74, Seth Curry, 76ers. 73, Andrew Wiggins, Warriors. 72, Joe Ingles, Jazz. 71, Gordon Hayward, Hornets. 70, Robert Covington, Trailblazers. 69, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jazz. 68, Tobias Harris, 76ers. 67, Pascal Siakam, Raptors. 66, Brook Lopez, Bucks. 65, Mike Conley, Jazz. 64, Christian Wood, Rockets. 63, Kristaps Porzingis, Mavericks. 62, Tyrese Halliburton, Kings. 61, Duncan Robinson, Heat. 60, R.J. Barrett, Knicks. 59, O.J. Anunoby, Raptors. 58, Will Barton, Nuggets. 57, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Hawks. 56, Karis LeVert, Pacers. 55, Colin Sexton, Cavaliers. 54, Jaren Jackson Jr., Grizzlies. 53, Mikal Bridges, Suns. 52, John Collins, Hawks. 51, Buddy Hield, Kings. 50, Draymond Green, Warriors. 49, Miles Turner, Pacers. 48, Malcolm Brogdon, Pacers. 47, Clint Capella, Hawks. 46, Jonas Valanciunas, Pelicans. 45, Lonzo Ball, Bulls. 44, Jamal Murray, Nuggets. 43, C.J. McCollum, Trailblazers. 42, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Thunder. 41, Zach LaVine, Bulls. 40, De'Aaron Fox, Kings. 39, Fred VanVleet, Raptors. 38, Brandon Ingram, Pelicans. 37, Anthony Edwards, Timberwolves. 36, Ben Simmons, 76ers. 35, LaMelo Ball, Hornets. 34, Klay Thompson, Warriors. 33, Michael Porter Jr., Nuggets. 32, Julius Randle, Knicks. 31, Nikola Vucevic, Bulls. 30, Kyle Lowry, Heat. 29, Chris Middleton, Bucks. 28, Jaylen Brown, Celtics. 27, Zion Williamson, Pelicans. 26, Karl Anthony Towns, Timberwolves. 25, Drew Holiday, Bucks. 24, Kyrie Irving, Nets. 23, John Morant, Grizzlies. 22, Rudy Gobert, Jazz. 21, Chris Paul, Suns. 20, Bam Adebayo, Heat. 19, Domantas Sabonis, Pacers. 18, Jimmy Butler, Heat. 17, Russell Westbrook, Lakers. 16, Donovan Mitchell, Jazz. 15, Jason Tatum, Celtics. 14, Paul George, Clippers. 13, Devin Booker, Suns. 12, Trae Young, Hawks. 11, Bradley Beal, Wizards. 10, Nikola Jokic, Nuggets. 9, Anthony Davis, Lakers. 8, Damian Lillard, Trailblazers. 7, Stephen Curry, Warriors. 6, James Harden, Nets. 5, Luka Doncic, Mavericks. 4, LeBron James, Lakers. 3, Joel Embiid, 76ers. 2, Kevin Durant, Nets. And number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bucks. And I just realized something, guys. I apologize. I forgot about DeAndre Ayton. And I would put him as the 4th best center right now in the league, behind Jokic, Davis, and Embiid. I don't know how I missed on that one. And I just can't believe I did that. That's an insult to him. In the top 100 players list, though, I would put him probably at number 30 between Chris Middleton and Kyle Lowry, like somewhere around there. Because I think, or maybe a little even higher than that. I would probably put him 19th is where I'd put him, between Jimmy Butler and Domantas Sabonis. I had to think about that, because the finals, people have a bad rap on him because Giannis beat him up in the finals. But yeah, apologies. DeAndre 8 and 19 on the list. So top 20. Sabonis 8 and Butler, Westbrook, Mitchell, Tatum, George, Booker, Young, Beal, Jokic, Davis, Lillard, Curry, Harden, Doncic, LeBron, Embiid, Durant, Giannis. And now, an honorable mention, Royce O'Neal of the Jazz. I feel like every year I forget somebody. In baseball, every year it seems like it's always George Springer, but this time around it's DeAndre Ayton, so apologies there. I just squeezed them in. Alright, the latest news and notes now. The biggest story this morning coming down from the Bronx. The New York Yankees are bringing back manager Aaron Boone on a 3-year contract. This is interesting. Obviously, this is something that a lot of people thought was going to happen, but I was on the fence, especially that it took this long because Joe Girardi was let go, and that's where I thought this was heading to, but I was wrong. So, John Heyman says that it was Hal Steinbrenner's call on Brian Cashman's recommendation. I was among some of those people thinking that Aaron Boone should have been relieved of his duties. But at the same time, you ask yourself, then who were they going to hire? I mean, I thought the best guys fit for this job are unfortunately guys occupied in other jobs. Oakland and Cleveland, and Terry Francona and Bob Melvin. And it looks like those guys are coming back to their respective clubs. And I think the Yankees looked at it that way too. I think that they realized that a lot of their players were injured this year. Some guys had COVID. The team that they lost to in the wild card game is currently dominating in the playoffs. So maybe they look at it and say, okay, maybe we're going to lose to the team that's going to win the World Series. But then again, some people say, well, that could have been us if a couple things broke right. But I think that a lot of their roster issues is what did them in rather than their manager. And I do think there's going to be plenty of roster changes. I don't think that some of their key players are going to be back. Like, I think Gary Sanchez could be a fall guy here. I think some other guys could be fall guys. Labor Torres, I think, could be trade bait or something as well. So, and then the real fall guys were Aaron Boone's staff. The third base coach got fired. The hitting coaches got fired. And rightfully so. I think that if anybody was should have been the fall guys, it really should have been Aaron Boone's staff, which I don't think did a great job as a whole this year, including Boone. But and a guy that I thought should have been brought back is the pitching coach, Matt Blake, because I think that the Yankees quietly did a nice job with their pitching staff in developing guys like Luis Gil and Nestor Cortez. Like, improvement of guys like that is why I thought the pitching coach, Matt Blake, should have been brought back, because I'm glad that he's still around. But the hitting coach's poor job. Phil Nevin, the third base coach, poor job. He was the guy that pretty much cost them any hope of winning that wild card game because he sent Aaron Judge home. But the bullpen did implode. So I guess the bullpen deserves more blame in that game than given credit for. And yeah. So Aaron Boone's brought back, and Hal Steinbrenner statements here. We have a person and manager in Aaron Boone who possesses the baseball acumen and widespread respect in our clubhouse to continue to guide us forward. As a team and as an organization, we must grow, evolve, and improve. We need to get better, period. I know Aaron fully embraces our expectations of success, and I look forward to drawing on his intelligence, instincts, and leadership in pursuit of our next World Series championship. And we'll see. And now the pressure's on Aaron Boone to deliver, and the real pressure's on Brian Cashman to go out and make improvements and changes for this team. And that's where I think the change is going to be. It's going to, like I said earlier a couple minutes ago, I think it's going to be a lot of player changes. And then obviously they made changes to Boone's staff as well. So Aaron Boone back, 3-year deal. Speaking of contract extensions, Washington Wizards and Daniel Gafford, 3-year extension, $40.2 million. Kevin Herter, 4 years, $65 million. Malcolm Brogdon gets an additional 2 years, $45 million. And Jaren Jackson, 4 years, $105 million. So, two people that didn't get extensions were Colin Sexton and DeAndre Ayton, as both of them will be restricted free agents come July. DeMar DeRozan says that the trade hurt like shit, as DeMar says that how he went to dinner and then was traded 2 days later. He went to dinner with Masai Ujiri and was traded 2 days later. He tells Draymond Green that. So the Titans tried a Music City Miracle Part 2, but failed miserably, if you didn't see it. But the Buffalo special trick play plays out as they pulled the Philly special, as Josh Allen caught a 2-point conversion from, who was it that tossed Allen the 2-point last night? Dawson Knox. That was pretty cool to see. Patrick Mahomes' brother apologizes and meant absolutely no disrespect when he filmed the TikTok dance on Sean Taylor's number. Taylor Lewan was carted off the field during last night's game after a head injury. That was brutal to watch. Julio Jones left the game with a hamstring injury. Patrick Peterson on the injury reserve due to cramping. Dak's calf is looking good and should be okay after straining his calf against the Patriots. Browns rookie linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. That's a brutal loss for their defense. Kareem Hunt on the injured reserve due to a calf injury. If you didn't watch ALCS Game 3, you missed a whole lot of booing from the Red Sox fans. Nick Rolovich fired after not complying with the vaccine mandate. So Washington State gets rid of their coach despite overachieving this year. SEC fined Tennessee $250,000 as the Vols must review alcohol availability policies to prevent future game disruption after trash thrown against Ole Miss. As there are 18 arrests, which was crazy. Matt Corral might not play against LSU, as Lane Kiffin says that the quarterback is not in good shape after the Tennessee game. Hopefully he plays, he says. The Texans released Whitney Merciless after 10 years with the team. We'll see who picks him up. Von Miller won't be traded for picks. And they won't trade players Vic Fangio values for draft picks. Evander Kane suspended 21 games for violation of COVID-19 protocols. That's literally a fourth of the season. Max Domi to injury reserve with the rib fracture, out 2 to 4 weeks. Nikita Kucherov out for a while, as John Cooper says that his injury is definitely not a day-to-day thing. Fernando Tatis Jr. to forego surgery as he's electing to not have surgery this offseason. Sad news in college basketball. Dick Vitale says he has cancer, as he will begin 6 months of chemotherapy. That's sad. Hopefully he gets well soon. Thoughts and prayers to the legend. The preseason college basketball 8-heat poll is out. We're going to get into college basketball a lot within the next couple weeks, doing predictions for each conference and whatnot. And the top 25, Gonzaga's 1, 2 UCLA, 3 Kansas, 4 Villanova, 5 Texas, 6 Michigan, 6 is Michigan, 7 Purdue, 8 Baylor, 9 Duke, 10 Kentucky, 11 Illinois, 12 Memphis, 13 Oregon, 14 Alabama, 15 Houston, 16 Arkansas, 17 Ohio State, 18 Tennessee, 19 North Carolina, 20 Florida State, 21 Maryland, 22 Auburn, 23 St. Bonaventure, wow, 24 UConn, 25 Virginia. So there is your top 25 in the AP poll this season, preseason, I should say. Billy Beane withdraws from the Mets job as he withdrew his name from consideration for the Mets president of baseball operations. You know that they're probably being mocked over this. Like, every big name they tried has whiffed. Theo Epstein, Billy Beane, and now David Stearns becomes the guy that people want. And that would be a nice hire if they are able to get him from the Brewers. Mike Schilt to interview with the Padres after being fired from the Cardinals. That would be a nice hire if the Padres pulled that off, because I don't think Schilt deserved to be fired. Giants sign Bernardrick McKinney to their practice squad. So they're adding some linebacker depth after McKinney was let go by the Texans. And then more on this DeMar stuff. He wanted to be in LA, as he said he'd be lying if I said he didn't want to come home. So there's a lot of shit that went down on that podcast with DeMar and Draymond. I would love to listen to that for sure. Alrighty, now I'm going to go over last night's episode of Dancing with the Stars. It was an interesting episode for sure. So the theme was Grease Night. First up was Olivia and Val. They did a foxtrot to Summer Nights by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. And they got a 36. Melora and Artem did a Vanette's Waltz dance to Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee by Stockard Channing, Dee Khan, Dina Manoff, and Jamie Donnelly, and got a 36. Amon and Daniela did a Vanette's Waltz to Hopelessly Devoted to You by Olivia Newton-John. They got a 28. The Miz and Whitney did a jive dance to Grease Lightning by John Travolta and Jeff Conaway and got a 32. That's been my favorite couple this year on the show. They've been great. Amanda and Alan did a Vanette's Waltz dance to Beauty School Dropout by Frankie Avalon and got a 39. Sonny and Sasha did a Charleston to Born to Hand Jive by Sha Na Na and got a 36. Jimmy and Emma did a foxtrot to Sandy by John Travolta and got a 34. Kenya and Brandon did a rumba dance to There Are Worse Things I Could Do by Stockard Channing and got a 36. JoJo and Jenna did a foxtrot to Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee reprise by Olivia Newton-John and got a 40, a perfect score. Good for them. Melanie and Gleb did a quick step dance to You're the One That I Want by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John and got a 36. And Cody and Cheryl did a quick step to We Go Together by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John and got a 32. Judges votes to save. Huff saved or voted Olivia and Val. Anaba voted Melanie and Gleb, and so did Tonioli. And Goodman voted Olivia and Val. And since the other judges were not unanimous, Len, as head judge, made the final decision to save Olivia and Val. And who went home? Melanie and Gleb. That's unfortunate. I thought they did a good job with their Grease performance. And I think they were good with their Disney performances last week. And I think the wrong person went home. Like, I think Amon and Daniela should have gone home last week and this week. Because I don't know how they're still alive. So, unfortunate for Melanie and Gleb. I think they did a nice job on this show. Melanie C. of the Spice Girls and Gleb Savchenko, the professional partner. So, next week should be a fun show as well. And obviously, tomorrow's Masked Singer, and we'll cover it up on the show. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. I'm laying the 1.5 with the Bucks. I don't know how they're under 3. And Kyrie Irving's not playing. I love the Bucks. I'm laying a unit on them against Brooklyn for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping NBA opening night, Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL, and obviously look ahead to everything tomorrow. And then news and notes. And we'll do NFL power rankings on tomorrow's show. And best bet. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.